So hey, what's up guys, Riotbox here and welcome back to another episode of the MotoGP 20 career mode, where we now have more upgrades for our bike and we're climbing back up the championship. We sort of hit a low point and we're recovering from that now. Unfortunately, our teammates I don't think are getting the upgrades we are getting, but we can get more guys on research now. It's going to take 1500 for the increased downforce and greater aero protection. It might be worth improving the aero a little bit, or actually I am going to get this guy onto help out with the engine or something, just to help out with that. Or do I get people from the engine onto this? I don't know what I want to do. Right, I'm just going to put it on research for now for the aero department, because it's only 1500 for the next upgrade, so I'm going to get him onto that and we're going to advance into the next round, which is going to be Mazzano, another track I like, so hopefully we can get another good result. 8/10 clear of Espargaro. I wonder whether that's a Leish or whether it's the other Espargaro. Can't for the life of me think of his name as I run it wide into the final corner. That's annoying. Exit, is it going to be enough to get fastest? 7/10, yeah, I think that should be enough. Fairly confident with that, and yep, look at that, we're through. I think it was Pole Espargaro, 33.7, and where did our teammates finish? Oh, Aleix is obviously straight into Q2 as usual. So we're into Q2 then. I don't expect to be stuck in Q1 anymore since the recent upgrades to the bike, so we've taken that leap forward into the lower reaches of the top 10, I think, now in terms of pace. We saw that out at Silverstone Home GP Special, so maybe we had a little bit of momentum to get into the sort of the upper half, around the mid sort of 5th, 6th places of the top 10. But let's head into qualifying again. I'm going to go for a soft front and a medium rear. I want to try it out for the race. I want to see what it's going to be like in terms of tyre temperature when we're really raping? That is not the word. So the front tyre's gotten very hot on this lap. I reckon we might have to put a medium in the front, well, definitely for the race, but maybe even to get a better lap time in qualifying, because it's overheated a little bit here. Didn't get the brilliant exit either out of the final corner. What's it going to be then? 34.2. That is 3rd place for now, but I think we might need to go for another lap if we want to do a little bit better. Oh, I got repairs on the bike. You must have made contact somewhere out with one of the back markers that I didn't notice. Right, I think it might need to be a medium front as well. Oh, they're going very quickly in qualifying. We've got to shave a second off. I doubt we'll do that. Right, I'm just going to end off the session actually. We'll take 12th place. Yeah, we've got a lot of time to find on the bike for the race. Look at that, 32.5 from Marc Marquez. Championship leader, of course, going very quickly. You wouldn't expect anything less from the man. But what can we do here then? It might be a hard tyre. Might just have to be hard. I don't know. I can't decide. The medium held up pretty well. Just feel like it might be a hard in the front. It's quite tough on the braking zones. Let's go for it. Hard in the front. Rins has done the same as well. Lots of medials. Marquez thinks a soft in the rear is going to work for him. So, let's see then. Hard in the front is a bit of a risk. I've never really gone for this. If I go hard in either of the tyres, I usually go for a harder rear than the front. But the front soft got really hot very quickly. So, a race distance here, we might need a little bit more leeway in the front tyre, but let's see. Oh, crash. Dovi goes down at turn number 1, and I'm noticing, oh, the bike isn't flicking over as quick as it was with that soft in. So we have to wait till we get a bit more heat into the front, but hopefully it should come to us in the race. But so far, it's so good. Look at the start we've had here, gone from 12th to 6th. In the first sector, obviously, Dovi did go down, which gifted us a position or two. But we're braking now into turn 8. trying not to make contact with anyone. We don't take damage early on, but we've got Jack Miller behind, so we've got to get a bit of a hurry on. Duo is really pushing us through the corner there at turn 10. Is he coming through? He is. Look at that acceleration from the Ducati. See if we can get him back down the straight. Slingshot up the inside. Come on, grip, 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 grip. See what I mean? The tyres do go up to temperature pretty quickly. So we should be alright. Out of turn 14, a little bit deep. He's going to have to go around the long way if he wants to get through. Which he's not able to do. And now braking into the final corner. Maverick Vinales next on the list. What is the gap to him? It is 0.6 of a second. Let's see if we can close him down. Our front tyre looking better in terms of temperature, although it has cooled down since that last sector. But it should do us well over the course of the race, really. Not struggling with putting the power down or anything in the rear, so I feel like a medium is fine in the rear. Maybe a medium would have been better in the front tyre as well, because it's a bit slow. It feels a bit sloppy, a bit, you know, just a bit like, come on, react. But it could be the Aprilia as well. I mean, we were running a soft tyre in quali, and obviously we've got enough fuel for the race as well on the bike, so that could have a role to play. There you go. Can't find me words today. 0.3 off of Vinales. I'm going to go power mode 2 down the back straight. Crutchlow there in 4th place on the LCR Honda. We of course do have that contract offer from LCR Honda, but the Aprilia is starting to come to us. So, ooh, here we go up the inside of Vinales. Oh, we lifted him up there. That wasn't very nice of us, but into the top 5 we go. The bike seems good in the race. Works a lot better in the race than it does quali, so that's good. This is again another track I really do like, and we tend to go well here. 33.8 from Marquez. What is it from us? 35.4. I want to save my fuel for nearer the end, because I've got the hard tyre in the front, so I feel like we can really push it at the end of the Grand Prix. So that is going to be my race plan for this race. We usually push quite hard early on and we go backwards again on the last few laps, but I don't want to do that today. Hard tyre in the front especially is going to help us out. Maybe if we get another podium for Aprilia, that'd be great. Definitely feeling the aero upgrade as well on the brakes too. On the outside, but Crutchlow comes back up the inside. He's back through. Honda acceleration. Need to get another upgrade on the engine if we can sometime soon. Crutchlow back up the inside as we run it deep there. We've lost touch with Valentino a little bit. Go run through the penultimate corner to the outside for the final corner. Oh, bit of contact. Robbing of our rear there from Crutchlow. 33.8 from Marquez. 34.9 from us. And we're up into P4 now. Into Sector 1. Flip the bike over. Pops, pops, pops from the exhaust. And we're ahead of Crutchlow. Now I would expect from the AI is Alex Marquez to be up here. I would also expect Vinales to be up here. Also Dovi, although he did crash. So right now we're running higher than we sort of should be, especially since Dovi crashed. We probably should be in about 5th or 6th place, but we're in P4 and we could actually challenge for a podium. So another opportunity has come our way. Let's see if we can take it. We need to take it while we can, especially at the end of the season now the Aprilia is feeling like a much stronger bike. It's working well around here at San Marino, so I'm going to use power mode 2 a little bit down here again, just to help us out. The front tyre is still cool, but yeah, this bike works well through the high speed corners. And we've always found that even before the upgrades came, that is really the only sort of good point of the bike. low speed corners it doesn't work. It still doesn't really work that well at low speed corners. Medium speed corners have improved since we've got the new frame and aero packages. Engine performance has also improved, so we can actually go with people now. 33.6 from Marquez. He's just absolutely dominating this season. Gonna have to watch out for the rear tyre wear as well. Look at the right hand side. We're giving it a bit of welly when it comes to throttle application. Gonna take it smoother through there. And look at the run on Valentino Rossi. Nicked it from in there. Run a bit deep at 4. Back on the track and he's up the inside. Ooh, he tries to at least. And we're in a podium position again. Aprilia will be happy with us, but we're through on Valentino. I would have expected Dovi to be in about 2nd or 3rd place, so him falling off has gifted us this really, but we'll take it. If the racing gods want us to get another podium, they will give us a podium. So let's see if we can close the gap on Alex Rins. The only one going consistently quickly at the minute is Marc Marquez. He's absolutely running away with it. That is going to be the challenge when we get up to a top bike. I mean, trying to go with Marc Marquez. Look, he's absolutely cleared off from Alex Rins. Alex Rins is no slouch himself, but look at the gap. Whoop. Run a bit deep there. So yeah, that is going to be the challenge when it comes to it, and we need a good bike to be able to do that. So that is going to be the challenge of this career mode. Who can take the fight to Marc Marquez, and which bike we do that on. We're about a second off of his pace at the minute. Right, I've got quite a bit of spare fuel, so I'm going to run power mode 2. Now we're on the last 2 laps. This is what I mean. This is when I'm going to run it real quick. So I'm going to go full pace if we can, up the inside of Rins. Up the inside of Rins. Make it look easy here on the Suzuki. Whoa, the right hand side of that rear tyre getting very hot there. On exit at turn 6, Rins is still there, but the upgraded engine working well for us. This is good. We could get another podium, another 2nd place. Obviously out of Austria we got a good result. And we're up into P2. Marc Marquez across the line already. What is the gap going to be to the championship leader? 8 seconds. That's crazy. We're going to have to watch out for under acceleration on the right hand side. Look at the right hand side of the rear tyre there. You can see it as well on the rear. It's starting to really take a beating. It's looking worn and it feels worn. We are catching up to Marc Marquez at this late stage in the race. We've pulled the gap down from about 7.6, I think it was across the line. It's now 7.1 as we went through that sector, so we are going very quickly at the end. He does have a soft in the rear, so he might be struggling. Oh, I've picked up a penalty here. Pushing it too much through there. 7.1 again through that last sector. We've pulled away from Rins. And we are going to bring it home if we can navigate the last corner safely. We are going to bring it home for 2nd place. Another podium here in our career with Aprilia. The upgrades are paying off. The patience and our hard work is really paying off. So 33.6 in the end from us. That must have been on the last lap. So we were pretty close to Marquez's pace. And I think that's because our hard tyre really did come into its own at the end of that Grand Prix. So that's going to help us out in the championship. Ducati back ahead of Yamaha in the constructors. I forgot to look where we were in the championship now, so I'll do that before we get into the next Grand Prix at Aragon. And these are the stars of the... Oh, that's the principal. I was wondering, where are we? Where are we? There we go. 2nd place. Solid result for us. Honda celebrating yet another win. Marquez yet another victory, but we are 2nd place for Aprilia. Really starting to get these deserved results now. So then, taking a look at the championship after that race, we're up into 9th, ahead of Morbidelli now. Rins is next to catch up to, and the top 8 I think is going to be quite tough to break into at this late stage in the season, but we've carrying on with the upgrades. We need a little bit more to get the next frame upgrade, a little bit more to get the next aero upgrade, and we're still waiting on that electronics upgrade to come our way. What I think I am going to do though is I think I am going to start looking for our next contract. We've had LCR come through, but these guys are all very low and they are the top sort of teams, so I think it's time to upgrade our manager. He specialises in getting good salary offers, many years of experience. It's time to upgrade, I think, and specialises in getting offers and signing from top teams. Good connections inside the official Aprilia team. I don't want good connections inside that team. Useless to me. So 10 years experience, good connections inside the official Honda team. I want to go to Yamaha really. Many years in the MotoGP world, economic negotiations, special in seeking out offers from top teams. So I'm going to hire this guy. He's British as well. That's cost us a little bit of money. We need to get our funds up if we want to be able to break this contract as well. So we're going to have to keep that up. But yeah, in terms of team performance, we're doing well. Contract performance as well, we're doing well. So we can advance on to the next round, which is going to be the Aragon Grand Prix. Here in the wet then for qualifying 1 at Aragon. It's going to be a wet track. It's going to be the same in Q2. So let's see if we can navigate these tricky conditions to get up into Q2. You can already see the rear end slipping on the Aprilia, trying to get a decent exit and to start our first flying lap. Out the final corner then, we sort of struggled on this lap. So we might have to go for another lap just to try and get up the grid. We're in 4th place at the minute, but I don't think that's good enough to actually get into Q2. Well, it definitely isn't if it's only 4th place, but let's go again on this lap. Might have to end the lap early and come in for more fuel though. We're about 1/10 of a second off of Nakagami's time, so maybe struggling a little bit in the wet now, but let's see what we can do. Come into the final corner, absolutely bomb it in on the brakes, just about hold on. We've really took a lot of wear out the final corner there of our front tyre. On exit though, is it good enough to get fastest? So far it's Rabat that leads. Ooh, surprise from Rabat. Let's return to the pit. In terms of our lap time, we're only P7. We're going to have to go again. 51.3 from everyone. Yeah. Oh, we can't be at the back here. Come on. Right, I'm going to fuel up for another run. Soft front, soft rear, a little bit extra fuel just to safely make it in terms of getting a 2-lap stint in if we need to. But here we go then, 2 laps if we need to. See what we can do this time. Looks a little bit drier to be honest, so let's see if we can use that to our advantage. A little bit wide into the final corner, but it's alright because it's building up now for a perfect exit on to start our second stint in Q1, trying to get into Q2 and out of last place. Look how close we are to Rabat's time. It's Rabat that's leading. Really doing well on that GP19 Ducati. Managing to get into Q2 if he keeps it the way he is. Let's see what we can do. Chuck it into the final corner then. We're obviously trying to get into Q2 as well, so I think the track really has dried up, so we've been able to really improve on that time. Mir peels off into the pits. What's it going to be then? 50.3. Good lap from us. I'm going to end the session here. And yeah, 3/10 clear of Rabat. So Rabat into Q2, eh? That is interesting. Let's see how he gets on. I mean, he's through with us into Q2. Our teammate's already up here. So if it's a wet track again, I'm just gonna wait to the end of the session really. So let's skip on in, see what people do. 50.3 was our time, but different conditions of course. So let's see what tyres are people going for as well. 51.8, yeah, the track's wet again. It's really gonna dry up over the course of the lap as well. So again, gonna go for that little bit of extra fuel in case we need 2 laps. But we're going to use up all these front soft tyres in qualifying. So let's hop on down to the race then. And we've got enough time for a 2-lap stint again if we need it. We shouldn't need it, I'm hoping, to be able to do a good result, but we need to see what the conditions are like this time out in Q2. Obviously going to be slightly different to the conditions out in Q1, but we managed to go from last place to first in a lap, so let's see what we can do then. 50.6 is the fastest from Rins, so the conditions have definitely dried up since we last looked. But if I can replicate my Q1 lap and get a 50.3, we should be able to get pole position. Now that would be a first for Aprilia, again improving. The wet conditions helping us out, I think. Marquez is definitely going to be a big threat in the race, so yeah, we're just off at that time at the minute. Conditions are definitely going to be a little bit different, but we're close. Could be front row. That would be great. See what our exit's like. Half a second off of Rins' time. The conditions are definitely a bit damper than they were, probably a little bit colder as well than they were in Q1, so we're not able to go as quickly, but let's see what this lap time is like, what position it will put us in. Coming around the last 2 corners into 16, now out of turn 17, let's go, good exit. Come across the line, 50.7 in the end, that is 7th place. What? 7th place, and we were half a tenth off. What were these lap times like? Jeez, they were pretty close. Actually, they weren't that close. Oh no, Valentino Rossi, Quartararo and Dovi went really quick at the end. I think the track must have dried right up at the end. So only 7th place in qualifying then. Looked like we probably could have done a little bit better if we timed it right. But anyway, Aragon for the Spanish Grand Prix. I don't know what tyres I need either. I think it's going to be medium front, medium rear. I could be wrong though. I've been wrong before. Extra lap of fuel. Let's go to the track then. Valentino Rossi on pole position. Hard tyres. Ooh. A few people going, well, lots of hard tyres out there really. We've gone for mediums. So let's see then what we can do off of the start of this race. Got Marc Marquez in the middle of the grid here. Oh, this could be a chance for someone other than Marquez to win the race. So coming to turn number 1, Marc squeezing us out. That is, oh, Rins gets beaten up at the start. Navigating, just trying to get clear off. Valentino Rossi holds on to that first place from the start. Danilo Petrucci's right there. Marquez is going forward in the grid. I'm trying to find a way under Danilo, and we're stuck in behind Quartararo. We're in a little bit wider on the exit at turn 5, maintaining 7th place then, which is our starting position. We're trying to get past Quartararo, who is obviously very quick at the minute in this season. Trying to find a way through if we can. Maybe we can set one up the inside, side by side with the Frenchman. Run a bit deep into turn 9. A little bit deep on the exit as well. We're on the curbing, which isn't going to help us out. Can't hold it through turn 10. We're a little bit wide. Oh, there's Quartararo coming alongside us. Oh, that looks nice. So we're back to the action. Managed to get through on Quartararo, who's been swallowed up by Rins behind, and we're into P6 now. See if we can make these tyres work. We've got to make them last, of course. Everyone else has hard in around me, so apart from Crutchlow, who's got mediums as well. So it'd be interesting to see what myself and Crutchlow do in terms of pace. Go power mode 2 as well down the back straight. Flick it back into power mode 1. Chuck it into the final corner. I'm not going to push it as hard as I usually would. I need to make the front tyre last. We're only early on in the race, so I need to adapt our riding style just to look after the tyres a bit early on in the race. We've got Rins coming up through. He's looking for it into turn number 1. We're going to chuck it in. Whoop. The rear gets out of shape a little bit. Rins is closed right in now. Let's see where we can close the gap on Marc Marquez. I'm surprised he's not through on the Honda yet. And I can't decide whether I want to go down the Yamaha, Honda or Ducati route in terms of next teams. Whether I even stay with Aprilia for the next season, I don't know, because our options are, if we want to go the Yamaha route, we'll go Petronas, and then we can go to the factory team, and then change from there. Or we could go Honda, go LCR, and then go up to the full factory team. Or we could go Ducati, and we'll go Pramac, and then we'll go the factory Duke. Or we could go anywhere, then go anywhere else we want to go, really. There's no rules, but it's nice to follow that realistic structure, isn't it? The other thing is stay with Aprilia for another season and try and win the championship with Aprilia. That would be something, because we've worked hard to develop this bike. So let me know what you want me to do come the end of the season. It's coming down to decision time in a few episodes' time, and I want to make our decision early as well. We have an offer in from LCR Honda, but I'm sort of hoping to go to the Petronas team, to be honest. That's where I want to put myself for next season in personal preference, because I do have a soft spot for Yamaha. But I'd go to Pramac. I'm sort of more keen on going to Pramac than LCR. 49 flat from Dovi, who leads now. 49.3 from us, so we've really improved this bike from where we were a few episodes ago. The good results are coming, and we're trying to, if we have a good race, we sort of get a podium. If we have a usual race, we get about 5th, 6th place. If we have a bad race, we get sort of lower, reaches the top 10. So that's sort of where our performance is. A lot of it also depends on the AI. Weather conditions as well play a factor. The front tyre is a little bip cold. Maybe a soft in the front would have been better, but I think we'd have ran out of tyres, to be honest. So Marquez through on Carl Crutchlow. Right then, on the back straight on lap number 3. Next lap will be halfway through the race, and we're trying to get up to the back of Carl Crutchlow. So I've got Palmo 2 down the straight just to try and close him down if we can. I'm going to go a little bit harder on the front tyre in the final corner, and Marquez is caught up to the back of Rossi and Vinales. And Dovi's clearing off a little bit, so Marquez knows he needs to clear those Yamahas. Look at that 48.4 from Marquez, the current champion. He's just light years quicker than anyone else on the grid. I think Milestone needs to add in another rider that can go that quick, just to make the races more interesting. But he's stuck behind the 2 factory Yamahas at the minute. That wet qualifying didn't pay off for Marquez now, and he's having to play catch up. I think he's going to absolutely run away with this championship, and he's through on Maverick. Crutchlow's started to up the pace a little bit. You can see he's closing down the Yamahas, so he's going to be looking to follow Marquez through. So we'll be interested to see if the Honda with Crutchlow can get ahead of Vinales as well. Obviously the full factory outfit can, but can the sort of satellite bike, can they do that as well? And it'd be interesting to see what tyres Vinales is on. Our rear's getting a little bit hot on the left hand side, starting to wear a little bit more than the right and the centre, so we need to close down this gap. It's crept up to 1.3 seconds. Can we close it down on the brakes? This pack up the road is really closing up, and as soon as Marquez is clear of Valentino, he will be hunting down Dovi, the current leader. Dovi used to win every single race on the previous game. Well, it looks like Marquez is the new Dovi on MotoGP 20. Right, Crutchlow's caught right up to Vinales. We've closed up a little bit more to Crutchlow as well, so I'm going to bomb it now into the final corner. I'm going to push these front tyres to the limit. Crutchlow through on Vinales, so the factory Yamaha dropping off the pace. And my rear tyre, I should have gone for a hard, because we're struggling. But we're closing in on Maverick now. It's our turn. The Aprilia working, and it is a shame that the upgrades don't seem to carry across to our teammates, or else they'd be up here with us, and it would be nice to see the Aprilia team change. And this is one thing I want to see in MotoGP 21, which is the actual AI teams in career mode changing performance based on R&D paths. It needs a they've expanded the R&D sort of tool, yes, but they've done that just by adding more areas to develop. Next year they need to take it further. They need to actually add in an R&D story almost for the AI. So that's what I want to see. I'll do a video talking about that more. But anyway, dropping down the hill into turn number 9. Can we get Maverick for 5th place? Get us in the top 5. That'd be great if we could. Got one more lap after this one just to try and get through on Maverick. I doubt we'll get to Crutchlow, but the Honda is going quick. Look, he's caught up to the back of the factory Honda as well. So Crutchlow going quickly come the end, but my left-hand side of my rear tyre is taking a beating. It's sort of slipping out when we chuck it into the left-handers. Marquez hasn't been able to get Valentino, which is surprising. I thought he'd be through. Maybe his tyres are sort of limiting him. But here we go then. Aprilia power against Yamaha. Look at this, late on the brakes. I've got light damage somehow. How did I get light damage? Did I even touch him? What? Oh, look, we didn't touch him, but the stupid hit detection. Oh, I've ran it wide at the final corner. That camera angle threw me off. Right, let's get Maverick back. That is annoying. We've got light damage now. 49.1 from us, and we're through on Maverick now. Up the inside into turn number 1. Can we get Crutchlow? I doubt it. If they make a mistake or they fall off though, if Marquez does something lethal in the final corner or something to Valentino, then we could pick up an extra few positions. But Dovi looks to be holding on. If he can just hold on for the rest of this lap, then he might get a victory. He needs one. He's been struggling all season. Marquez hasn't been able to get Valentino Rossi. That is the big surprise. I thought Marquez was going to clear Rossi real easily and real quick, but he hasn't been able to. And I thought he was going to challenge Dovi for the win. But we're out a little bit wide and I can't put the power down anymore. The rear tyre is completely gone. Look at the left-hand side. It's just wobbling. Dovi takes the win then for Valentino from Marquez and then Crutchlow. And we get top 5. That is good. Oh, I accidentally skipped the race results. So still P9. Jack Miller drops down the order. See if we can get Jack Miller for 8th place. That would be a good aim. That would be something good to aim for. We're closing in on LCR Honda again, who pull away a little bit as Crutchlow finished ahead of us. Ducati get back ahead of the Petronas Yamaha team. And Aprilia still ahead of KTM. We're really starting to rake in the points now. So let's see. Our reputation is going to increase, which is good. Our race credits, 13,000. We need to get 250k to be able to... Ooh. We've had a proposal. Aprilia. They want to re-sign us for next season. They want 4th row. They want top 10 in the races. Annual salary increases as well. What is my current contract? Oh, they've really upped the annual salary by 300k. That's crazy. So 2 contracts in the bag then, ready for next season. Do we stay with Aprilia? Do we go to LCR, or do we hold out to the end of the season? So find out. We've got 12 weeks left of the season, probably about 3 episodes left. So that's been it for today's episode. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.